Hi, welcome back to Lost Closet 12. My name is Donna. I resell all the things on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. The sales are slower this week. They're quite pitiful, but I'm here to report them anyway. So we share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between on this channel. So, yeah, I didn't have any sales on what's that? Depop again. The sales there are so inconsistent. I don't There's like no fees. The fees are really, really low, and I think that's why I haven't tapped out yet, because if a lower dollar item sells, you keep more of that. So the bottom line on that item looks a little better. But without any further ado, we're just going to jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me and it would help my channel grow. If you haven't noticed, I'm new to YouTube and I'm still learning the ropes. So any support of any kind, I would greatly appreciate it. And let's get into what sold this week of May 16th to the 23rd, if I didn't already say. First up, I want to talk about a canceled sale. This rubber duck shower curtain hook set, approximately 70 by 70, novelty print. The buyer thought the shipping was going to be free, so she had asked to cancel. What are you going to do, right? So I just canceled the order. I'm sharing this because sometimes when I'm, writing up my listings or working on the computer and I have reseller content in the background, some resellers complain about returns and cancellations, and I don't understand. I mean, yeah, I was a little bit annoyed. I was like, really, you didn't read? But it was no big deal. I just relisted it, and it'll sell eventually. If not, I'll put it at a yard sale. I'm gonna pull some of my listings that I've had forever and put them at a yard sale, and then maybe redonate them. It's cost of doing business. I mean, you do your best, and you will have your buyers that are trying to pull a fast one or just simply don't read the listing, and it's going to happen. It happens to everybody. So not to sound condescending or conceited, you just have to accept it for what it is. Don't waste your time being upset by it, and move on to the things that are actually selling. Up next are linen pants. They are women's size 10 linen blend high waist, flat front, straight leg, pockets, east width. There's nothing special about these. I just picked them up because they were linen. I still have some items in my store that I probably should have never picked up. I probably picked this up a year ago or better. And my cost, they were bins pickup, 93 cents. They sold for $8.98, and I rewrote them in September. Up next, we have the Peppa Pig Dollhouse Furniture Beds and Camper Pool Replacement Parts. Google Lens helped me identify these. They were also bins pickup. 22 cents is my cost. They sold for $7, and I rewrote them in August. Libby Edelman, size 7.5, espadrille wedge slide, open toe, black bow detail shoes. When I grabbed these, I wasn't paying attention. I thought they were the Sam Edelmans, and when I was cleaning them off, I realized that they were not. And they were bins pickup, $1.44. They sold for $7.36 plus shipping, and they were rewritten in December. These Crocs, I had them written wrong first. I didn't realize it until I went to rewrite them. They're toddler girls Crocs size 4, backslide sandal shoe, rubber beach shower, and pink. I know they look white, but they're very light pink, and I disclosed that. I bought these a while ago. They were bins pickup. I rewrote them in September. My average cost that day was $2.75. I picked these up before I started weighing things out because it just made more sense to get a more accurate cost of goods, because like this was a Ben's pickup and my average was $2. I probably picked up a lot of boots or heavy stuff that day. So if I didn't say, $2.75 was my cost, $6 is what they sold for, and they were a rewrite in September. This sale is a little better. We have New Balance and the number from the inside of the tag, men's size 14, extra wide shoes, country, walking, trail, and suede. And I misspelled suede. They were a red, white, and blue pickup. My average cost was $5. They sold for $59. And they were written in May. So that was a pretty quick flip. This is just the cutest apron. And I do not specialize in aprons. I know very little about it. I picked it up for two reasons. The print was too cute not to. And the tag, here we go, says France. So those were my reasons for picking it up and trying it out. Sunflower and lavender apron, Providence Country Farm Kitchen Boho. I'm not going to try to enunciate that. And Yolande, if I got that correct, good. If not, you can correct me in the comments. My cost was 33 cents. It sold for $20. And I wrote that in the end of April. So it was a pretty quick flip. These are Teva's women's size 8.5 riding boot, waterproof leather, tall, black, low heel, zipped. I could have held out a little bit for this. I accepted an offer for $35. My cost was $4.50, and I wrote them in March. My sales are slow, so I'm trying to get what I can. This is a Rolling Stones coffee mug, classic logo, lips, tongue, black, ceramic, hot, cold beverage. And I forgot the E. Or maybe I ran out of characters. I might have ran out of characters. So this was a gifted item. The buyer sent me a message saying, I hope $7.50 is enough. This is a really cool mug and I like it. I didn't pay anything for this mug, so it's all gravy. So I accepted the offer, and that was written in March. This was also a gifted item, and you don't have to list everything that someone gives you to purchase. I have a few friends that will, clean stuff out of their house, get rid of some of their clothing or whatnot. I generally give them a gift card, and sometimes I sell some of the items, and sometimes I redonate them. If anything like this comes across my way again, I would have not had picked this up for resale because of the style. The brand is not really anything I've heard of before either. So it's Wishful Park, camo print, high waist, skinny jeans, green, junior size 13. These were really, really tiny. I've had them for probably over 2 years, and they sold on Poshmark for $8. So I did not really make any money on that. So it's a lesson learned. The camo won't always sell. I mean, I do well with camo prints, but not on those type of items apparently. These were a red, white, and blue pickup, Fila women's size 7, memory, aspect 2, energized yellow, pink running shoes, sneakers. $5 was my average cost of goods that day. I guess I sent an offer. I wrote $21, and that's incorrect because there was a shipping discount that I wrote down. So probably 10% off. So whatever that is. So minus 10, 15% is the offer I more than likely sent. And it sold on Poshmark, and I wrote them in February. I just tripped myself up because I made a boo-boo on my notes. But this was, I do 15.20. So take 20% off, say that's what it sold for, because I'm not going to go back and look. Women's Sanic loafers. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly or not. So size 8, flat tan, slip-on boat shoes. When I first started buying this brand a little while ago, the style shoe, I feel like it did pretty well. It sold pretty quickly, but this one did not. I wrote it in December. My cost was 95 cents. It was a bins pickup, and it sold for $10. And last but not least, my only Mercari sale. Yes, it sold for $1.79. There's a story behind that explaining why. I was writing some Barbie items and fashion doll items, and these shoes I could not find on Google Lens, or I did not take a long time to search them. I just Google Lens them basically. If something definitive did not come up almost instantly, I did not waste any time. I set it aside with intentions of lotting them up and selling them cheap. So I listed them on eBay for 99 cents auction. It ran through a couple times, no bites. So I listed it and then cross-posted it to, I'm assuming, Poshmark and Mercari and probably Depop for $1.99. And I never noticed that I never changed the price. So that's what it sold for, minus an offer I sent, a bulk offer on Flipped, where you could just hit send offers on Mercari, and it sends 10% offers or whatever you put in there. So it sold for $1.79. I still made about $1, so I'm not complaining, but I do have to be more mindful not to do that again. That is it for this week's sales. They're slow because I've not been showing up for work. I've been doing the bare minimum of sending offers, sending things live on Poshmark and Mercari and Depop, and and making sales on eBay. But I have not been showing up and doing any amount of work outside of that. So I mean, I took a week off. I was sick, so that's probably why. So I'm hoping for better results next week. But I did take the time to tally up the numbers. My cost for these items was $21.20. They sold for $192.63. Plus, I collected $69.45 in shipping. Out of that $69, I had paid $51.43 in shipping fees. And my selling cost was $38.72, leaving me with a $150 net profit for the week. That's not good, but it is what it is. And I've been writing more listings, getting more stuff up. I have all my utensils and flatware ready to go. I don't think I sent them live. And I recently purchased a bulk of collector plates. Again, not something that's going to bring me a lot of money, but the guy was like $20 for all of them, and I said okay. So that's what I did. So I brought my cost down to I think $1.16 a plate. So I got that done, and I got a few toys done, some Fisher Price Little People. So I've been working, I made a video about not listing for a week, and work with me video. I was not very productive that day, but I took a swing at it, and I did a video on the plates. If you're interested, you can just go, and I have a playlist of my haul videos if you wanted to binge watch that, or just one or two. I would appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It would help my channel grow, and it would really mean the world to me. So until next Flip Friday, I'll see you then. Bye.